This is the Reunification Express, and right now it's in Hanoi, Vietnam. But before I take a train out of the city, I need to see one of Hanoi's most popular attractions, Train Street. Here, tourists and locals gather 8 to 9 times a day to see a real working locomotive run within inches of people enjoying cafe society. I eat at a cheapy restaurant just off the street. It's an interesting restaurant right off the Train Street. It's a quarter the price of what the Train Street restaurants are showing, and I'm going to try the food. The beer, about 30 cents. Okay, we got the goods. This is a stir-fried beef, and be interesting to try. You add the peppers, it becomes the spicy I want. I may ask for some more. This is the bird's eye chili, and it packs a punch. Delicious. I can't get enough. My meal was $4.94 basically. 2 beers, the beef stir fry, well worth it. We're watching the train go by on Train Street here. A couple, well, the man proposed to his now fiancée right after the train left. It was a really, really nice moment. Everyone was cheering. He was on a knee. They showed me the ring. It was fantastic. Very, very nice couple. Wish them well. It is oddly satisfying watching both the trains chug through and people's reaction to said train. It used to be called a happening in the 60s, a shared moment of delight. Some will put down a bottle cap to be flattened into a souvenir. I made a day trip to Halong Bay. It's a few hours bus ride from Hanoi. I hate being a tourist, but could not pass up seeing this incredible harbor. But first,
Halong Bay is a cultural trend. Okay, so you say here, hello.
They try to sell you some pearls at a large jewelry store en route to the bay.
The food is included.
Eventually, we make it to the reason for this excursion, beautiful Halong Bay. We oarboat through the inlets. This really is a lot of fun. It's a shame you have to go through a gift shop and try to get you to buy pearls, but I'll tell you, I'm really enjoying this and to see these mountains. It's just absolutely amazing. Tour a large cave and climb 450 steps to a lookout. All was mildly amusing, but the friends I made was what made it worthwhile, including a Bolivian industrial engineer and an Indian software engineer and her mother. And despite her mother being there and her shyness, this computer girl could really get down and dance. We're getting done with the day at Halong Bay, and it's been a pretty good day. The bus ride, horrible, but visiting the sites, fantastic. The caves, really, really nice. Nicely done. Back in Hanoi, I discover what a gem this capital is. I watch the daily raising of the flag at the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. Well, this is just how friendly the people of Vietnam are. She is taking me to take their photo, and it's a lovely scene. And meet some local women dressed in traditional garb.
Vietnam, Vietnam! Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh, thành phố Hà Nội. Hello!
I make it to a park where ballroom dancing is a morning ritual. These folks really are having a great time cutting a rug. Khao Mai is played here. It's no-hands volleyball. At Hote Lake in the center of town, fishing is an art form. Young and old lay out a line and the fish were biting. Perhaps my greatest pleasure came just walking around. Fishmongers, cafes, no space is wasted. A business will set up anyway. The city comes alive at night. People eating, sitting on extremely low plastic stools to do so. Dishes are washed on the sidewalk. Frequently, that's the kitchen too. And outsiders may not know exactly what is on their menu. There's an area known as Beer Street for a more rowdy experience. The perfect place to do some people watching while dining. Here, I received a $6 half-hour foot massage. Eventually, it's time to leave Hanoi and begin my train adventure. The old-school train station isn't much, but gets the job done. I say goodbye to Hanoi and board the rail car for Hue, 13 hours south.
Please do not put 2 feet onto the toilet in case you may fall off and risk your safety when the train is running.
Interesting that they tell you make sure you don't put both feet on the toilet seat because you may fall off. They have to tell you that. This is going to be a great trip. I'm so looking forward to this. This is a 13-hour trip to Hue. And there I'm going to spend a night, maybe 2. We're going to see how it goes. And then go to Da Nang is what we're used to calling it in the States. And from Da Nang on to Ho Chi Minh City / Saigon. I was planning on taking an overland bus through Cambodia, but because of tensions between Cambodia and Thailand, their land border is not open. We slowly chug out of the station and through the streets of Hanoi. Special crossing guards block traffic at intersections. After about 25 minutes, we're opening up to more rural parts. Finally leaving Hanoi. It's a shame. I fell in love with that city.
Coffee?
No, thank you. And just 1 hour outside of Hanoi, we come to Phu Ly. A 5-minute stop, and we're on our way again. When you're on the train, it's impressive to see how everyone respects the might of the train by stopping at crossways instead of trying to beat them. I'm a little surprised at how much busier this train has gotten since Hanoi. It's getting so some seats are doubled already. It was fun listening to the Yentas just talk, gab. They don't know each other from Adam, but it doesn't stop them. They're just going after each other. There's a high shrill to Vietnamese if you don't understand it. If you understand it, it's not bad. It's not bad to me, it's just definitely higher pitch and volume than I'm used to.
Có cơm lòng đi. Nhân viên đâu bảo nhân viên dọn. Cái này cơm lòng nào?
They do feed you on this train for about $2. Nothing prepackaged for the meal. Food is served off a rolling buffet. Okay, I ate most of this. I am not sure what this is except congealed fat, so I'm going to say no. This might be Vietnamese bacon for all I know, but it doesn't look very appetizing. And the rest is rice, and there were 3 little bits of beef, or meat of some sort. But it wasn't very filling. I can't complain though. 50,000 dong, So this was $2. Do I? No, I do not. It did come with these little peanuts. They're fried peanuts. And they're quite popular in Vietnam. I'm just impressed I can get them with my chopsticks. I'm going to give up. Try a spoon for the remaining bit of rice. And it comes with a toothpick. I got myself 2 waters, bag of chips. I'm set.
And by traveling by train in Vietnam, you can see the rice field, so many beautiful views, you understand, rice field, the sea, the mountains, and everything.
Gone through a little bit of rain, makes everything that much greener. My God, this is such a beautiful country. Gotta like the tropics, obviously, but if you did, it's just beautiful. We're about 2 hours away from Hue, and we'll see if we can make it. Interesting development. Record flooding around Hue has caused this train to just stop at the station before it, and we don't know when or where we're going to be able to get to. So I don't know what the story is going to be for tonight, but this is all travel, whether it's airline or car. You never know what the gods are going to do for you. Well, stepped off the train. It's the worst flooding in the history of Hue that is stopping this train from continuing, and I don't know what we're going to be doing. It's already been an hour and a half wait almost, and we're just all sitting around not knowing what the situation is, what they're going to do with all of us passengers. Wish us luck.
So good morning, everybody. So my name is Lai. I'm from Vietnam, and I speak so good English, right? Everybody says I speak so good English, and I sound like Trump, right? Okay, but I don't sound like Trump. Okay, I just the way I am. You understand what I mean? Okay, so people call me Mini Trump, the 40-and-a-half president of the United States, but I don't want to be so. Okay, I don't want to be that guy. You understand what I mean?
Meet Lai, quite the Vietnamese character. He says he learned his English by listening to Donald Trump. He takes the delay in stride.
Well, we have to stop. You understand what I mean? And I don't know when we are going to start moving. You understand? But hopefully it will be the end of this day. Okay, at the end of this day, we don't know. It's what I like most about Vietnamese people. They are really calm and you understand, collected. Okay, you understand what I mean? And I think we can wait even longer, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more days. That's okay, it doesn't matter to us, okay? So we are very good at dealing with difficult situations, you understand? We are so good at it, you understand? We have been sleeping a lot, nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do. It doesn't matter to me that how long I have to wait for the train to start moving, okay? So I think the longer it is delayed, the happier I feel, because I can have more time to talk with foreigners, okay?
And the hours keep ticking by, very long hours, where people sleep however they can get comfortable. Okay, maybe not comfortable, but they still sleep. 12 hours after we got here, we're finally getting some movement. We are going to what I think is going to be a bus to take us around the flooding. Yep, 4 buses meet us to drive us to a railway station on the other side of Hue, a route closed to the trains. So after sitting on the tracks for 11 hours doing nothing, we were moved to these buses. And my bus just happens to be this weird lay down kind of bus. So it's fascinating. I've got great company, and we're just going to see where this goes. This is why it's called an adventure. You never know what's going to happen. When the bus got to the station on the other side of Hue, I had 30 seconds to decide my fate, stay in Hue or continue to Ho Chi Minh City. I didn't want to be a burden to rescue efforts in Hue, so I bought a ticket to Saigon. It was chaos, but I made it on board. It's hour 32 now, and this train ride is going on very long. Just to be brief, 6 a.m. yesterday, I boarded a train to Hue from Hanoi. Hue is flooded, We sat on the tracks at the train station before Hue for about 11 hours. Then they did a busing. They took us off the train onto some coaches, and we got on there another hour and a half. During that time, I didn't know what was going on, and I had to pee like a racehorse. And then I had about 30 seconds to decide to end Hue and Da Nang because of all the flooding. Nothing is open. My hotel I couldn't get in touch with. So I quickly bought a ticket to Saigon as quickly as I could, ran onto the train that was only 50 yards away, and I made it with about 60 seconds to spare. This has been a crazy adventure, and I'll never forget it. And this is what makes traveling so much fun. Hour 38 on the excursion. I'm exhausted, and just a few more hours to go. And when I say a few, more like 10. Well, it's 6 o'clock a.m., 2 days after I first got on the train. Actually, exactly 48 hours. It's been exhausting. I am so tired right now, so tired. But I'm seeing it through. About another hour to go to the Saigon station, Ho Chi Minh City, if you will. I have a hotel booked. I'll get there way too early to check in, so I'll be wandering the streets like a crazy man for another 5 hours. They do have hot water on board that they sell cups of soup, ramen soup with, and it is questionable water to begin with. When you heat it, it should be fine. I'm really sorry that I had to miss Hue and Da Nang, but the flooding was horrible. If I stayed there, I'd just be contributing to people's woes, taking some of their valuable resources. I have no reason to be there during this time of trouble. So, just continued on to Ho Chi Minh City. The bathrooms on this train have been fairly tolerable. They've been cleaned on the regular. They have a little clipboard saying when and who did the cleaning. I'm not complaining about that at all. I like the bathrooms better on the first train than this current one, but they're not horrible. People seem to be pretty decent about using them, and it's really a non-issue. The food also hasn't been bad. The prepared meals, while not to the Western taste, they were fine. I really enjoyed mine. A lot of it was mystery meat, but not to the Vietnamese, just to me. Even from the train, you can see how the scooter is the weapon of choice on the streets of all Vietnam cities. Whether at the countryside, suburbs, or heavy urban, the scooter just rules here.
Hello.
Hello. Xin chào.
Xin chào.
Everyone has been pretty nice. This is called the Reunification Express, one of their proudest moments post-war, to show that they're one country. They're very, very proud of this train. They used their train. They're so proud of this Vietnamese Reunification Express. Despite the exhaustion and my preference to have broken this up by visits to Hue and Da Nang, I can't complain about it. It's a long ride. If I had known I was going to do the whole thing in one stretch, I may have gotten one of the sleeper cars, but I didn't know I was going to, and 13 hours didn't seem too bad. One of my favorite authors is Paul Thoreau, who in the 70s wrote the book The Great Railway Bazaar. In that, he describes going through hardship on travel by writing, "Luxury is the enemy of observation, a costly indulgence that induces such a good feeling that you notice nothing luxury spoils and infantilizes you and prevents you from knowing the world. I heartily agree. I have no problem second class. I have no problem this taking 48 hours. I've gained so much information about Vietnam, things you just would never understand if you didn't go through hardships. The people are so kind, not just to the tourist. You go beyond the hawkers trying to get you into their restaurants. You see true heart of the country. Well, that was 49 hours exactly to get from Hanoi to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. It wasn't the easiest way. I could have done it for a lot less time and a lot less money just by flying. But I wanted to see what the people are like. The people inside the train, the people I passed on the farms, they were all wonderful. You just learn so much traveling this way. Didn't go anywhere near as planned, but that's okay. That's what travel is about, not the schedule. You can have your cruises, you can have your tour groups. That's not for me. I want to know that something can go wrong, because that is where the adventure lies. And I want to know that whatever comes my way, I can deal with it. You know, sometimes you're uncomfortable, but that's okay. That brings you closer to some cultures. You just have to be ready for whatever life throws at you while traveling light. Here's my backpack. If there's enough interest, I will make a video of what I travel with, an unpacking video, if you will. And I'm just ready for anything that life throws at me. It was a great trip. I don't let the problems that this poor country of Vietnam is having in the central area of near Hue and Da Nang get in the way of what is a learning adventure for me. And now I walk a couple of miles toward my hotel. Immediately, I see just how lively Saigon is. Hustle and bustle, level 10. Every step is a new experience. Back home, it's rare that you see a photo opportunity. Here, it is rare you don't. One of the cool things is a lot of the cooking here in Vietnam is done outside. Today, we're going to the War Museum. We're then going to the post office designed by Gustav Eiffel of Eiffel Tower fame, and maybe take a water taxi. I also see a very tall building with an observation deck. Maybe I'll check that out. As a kid growing up, I used to go to air shows at El Toro Marine Corps Air Base and used to be celebrating these airplanes. Come to the Vietnam War Remnants Museum. And you see what it did, the damage it did to the people of Vietnam. Incredible people. It had nothing but warm welcomes here. And I just can't stand the fact that my country did something like this to their country. Here I was deeply touched by the exhibit featuring the journalists lost in the war. This is the news coverage that planted the seed of my 43-year career as a photojournalist.
Good morning.
What do we have here? A Lululemon.
Buy hết me.
Is it really Lululemon?
Yeah, Lululemon.
The factories are here in Vietnam, so it's conceivable that they just get some falling off the truck, or I don't know how they would get it, maybe factory seconds, and they resell them here, but I just don't know. I did buy a fanny pack when I was in Hanoi. It was an Osprey, probably $70 back in the States, and I got it for, memory serves me correctly, $6. And that I was probably taken advantage of. They originally asked for 350 dong and I got it for 200 dong. Well, I needed some cash and I just went to an ATM at this bank. I used the Schwab card so I don't pay any fees to the ATM. They reimburse you. But I got $1 million dong. Yes, I am a millionaire. 1,000,000 dong, but it only came out as two 500,000 dong notes. And no street vendor, anytime you want to use something to make a purchase, even in a store, wants to accept something as big as 500 dong, which is only about $19, only about $19. 1,000,000 dong is about $38. Well, I just went to see what was happening at the river, and I apparently picked a very boring part of the river because there was really no one on the banks, just a bridge crossing over with a lot of motorists. I saw one person fishing when I first got there, but he left pretty quickly. There were some great murals drawn along the drive getting up to the river. I mean, beautifully done, of all aspects of the military. You had women, you had Marines, you had Navy, you had Viet Cong, all working together. You know, probably not a good message for the American side, but for the Vietnamese, they're very proud of what they were able to accomplish during that war.
So you want this?
I'm getting a banh mi. It's a bulgogi banh mi, and it's going to be 35,000 dong, and I'm hoping it's good. It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. I want it hot. Spicy. We're going to have a bulgogi banh mi. I have no idea where I'm at, but it's Hem 8, which Hem probably means street. That's what it looks like. Bit of grizzly in the bulgogi, but just about $1. It's amazing how many foreigners are in Vietnam now. Met a few expats today. They teach English here. 2 were Australian, 1 was from Sacramento. They love it here. The guy from Sacramento hadn't been back to the US in 12 years and doesn't miss it. Occasionally misses Mexican food. Slowly they're getting some here. I had a couple friends of mine, one Lao, one Cambodian, talk about the fact that I was going to Vietnam in a little bit of a surprised tone, saying, but it's communist. The ruling party is called the Communist Party, but I've never seen more capitalism around me everywhere. Everyone has a little business that they run, they hustle, they try to make the dong, the equivalent of their dollar. There are hardworking people, and they do what needs to be done, and they have incredible capitalistic acumen. They know how to run a business. They just have a really good safety net. The last thing I would call Vietnam is a communist society. It's laughable that someone would think that. The hustle here, day in, day out, the people working hard. Every little granny with a bike is setting up a fruit stand. Old men have a little pho from their scooter. If you can't afford a bike or a scooter, there are carts available everywhere. The hustle here is like nothing I've ever seen in any country that calls itself a capitalist country. It's kind of nice that the spread between the wealthy and the poor is not so great here. I'm sure there are some examples of uber wealthy Vietnamese. Even the poor are working hard, but they have their health care and they have a safety net. The downside of that is sometimes the hustle involves young women being hustled out in front of bars, massage parlors. I don't like seeing that at all. I just asked one of the employees of that banh mi shop how much they can earn an hour here. And it's about 30,000 dong, which is pretty close to $1. It's 100,000 dong is $4. So 30,000 is a third of $4, so it's $1.33 an hour. Not much, but for them, here, everything is relative and they make a living. A lot of people live with their parents.
Happy Halloween. Very happy. Yeah.
Well, it's Halloween night, and behind me is Vienne Street, and I can't even begin to tell you how insane it is. It's Times Square in New York on New Year's Eve kind of crazy. This is where everyone in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, is coming to celebrate All Hallows Eve. They come on their scooters, family in tow, and it is packed. You can not hear yourself think. You just cannot imagine how crowded it is. And despite there being children all around, this is interesting. Despite children coming and flocking here for Halloween, all the dancers are dancing the most erotic dances you could imagine. It's really quite a scene. Hello, Vietnam. Now I gotta tell you, I've been here a couple nights already, and it's not like this when it's not Halloween, but it's close. Water is everywhere in Vietnam, so a water taxi down the Saigon River is a must. This leads me to a new area of the city, and it includes a very eerie, very dark mall. Here there are many seamstresses and a butcher lady. Did I mention this is eerie? Outside is a young man prepping coconuts for people to buy as a refreshing drink from thousands of street vendors. If you want to snack on a banh mi sandwich, this man and his motorcycle food cart will find you. And much to my surprise, I found a pickleball club thriving. Proof that you need to just walk around to get to know any city. This duck was incredible. There are beautiful Buddhist temples to be found, with locals summoning the strength of their gods. The motorbike culture here was my favorite thing to witness, and for a look at that, you'll have to wait for my next video on this two-wheeled thrill ride of a country, Vietnam. Thanks for watching.